Welcome to Behind the Mic with AudioFile Magazine. I'm Joe Reed, and I have the founder of AudioFile with me, the one, the only Robin Whitten. Hello, Robin.
Hello, Joe. Lovely to be here again.
Lovely to have you. And tell me what we're going to be talking about.
Well, I have a little variety this week, but of course, we always have to start off with some mysteries because, on vacation or wherever I am, I have a little mystery tucked in my earphones
Yeah, you and me
always.
both. So tell me what you're talking about today.
Very appropriately, we're going to talk about The Ghosts of Rome by Joseph O'Connor. Since Rome and the Vatican are in the news. This is read by Stephen Hogan, Barnaby Edwards, Aoife Duffin, David John, Gertrude Thoma, and Lawrence Bouvard in a lovely ensemble cast with a story set in World War II.
And this is the second title in what's called the Rome Escape trilogy. My Father's House was the first, and it has and everybody you mentioned also narrated My Father's House.
Interestingly, is well suited to a cast, an ensemble, I guess we would call it. And because you have actually a lot of different characters, the story is sort of a fictional historical account of a resistance group known as the Choir, who established an escape line for allies in during the war in Nazi occupied Rome.
To get them out of Rome.
Right. So as they are hidden within the Vatican, which is a wonderful idea in itself because of all the sort of secret passages and secret codes and grand rooms and staircases and interconnected buildings.
And Joseph O'Connor is a beautifully lyrical writer, I think. I mean, he really just creates textures and patterns and layers in his work.
Yes, and this is, we have a lot of different characters. We have the ensemble with many voices, but you've got Irish priest, the diplomat's wife who is Irish, Americans, Italians, Brits, also diplomats, and also the German, the Nazi, the commandant.
So, does this focus on a particular aspect of this escape plan, or is it an overview of it?
I did not read My Father's House, so I'm not sure because this sort of stands alone. I see it as a whole,
Mhm.
and actually that's one of the things I was interested in because I don't know if this is a trilogy. I'm not sure how that's going to work because the war is over at the end of the Ghosts of Rome. I'm not, who knows what it is going to be, but the story is about a number of the different partisans and and members of the resistance group of the choir who are helping in different ways, whether they're sheltering a soldier or carrying messages or a kind of a wonderful character who an Italian character who is a fixer. He just can get stuff done, who is probably, part of the underworld, the Italian underworld in real life, and but he's a partisan, so he helps the group. There are Americans who are very brash, and it suits. I think the writing suits the ensemble.
Tell me how the ensemble is used. Is it different chapters? Do they go back and forth like a multicast? Is it point of view? How does it play out?
It is mostly point of view. When one character is telling part of the story, it is just one narrator.
Okay.
But there are interactions also, and sometimes I had to wonder whether a very skilled single voice narrator could have done this. I understand why they chose not to do that, but I was a little there's a lot of stuff going on with a lot of characters and a lot of fairly broad accents. So I was trying to follow the plot and the storyline, and also kind of being distracted slightly by some of the accents.
And when you say there was interactions, does that mean 2 different actors would be talking with each other at the same
Yes,
time? What do you mean when you say that?
yes,
Oh,
yes, that's
they
what I
would?
mean.
Okay, that's cool.
That sometimes it's a style that is sometimes can take you out of the story.
Got it. Well, what are we going to listen to? Because I know you have an excerpt.
So I have an excerpt, and of course, because we've got an ensemble, I had to pick one person. So this is Barnaby Edwards, who is giving a lovely small portrait about one of the fugitives, Bruno, the Polish airman, who is being hidden in an apartment with a young woman who is a dressmaker and her very young daughter.
So this is The Ghosts of Rome. It's by Joseph O'Connor. It's read by a multicast, and we'll be hearing from Barnaby Edwards.
Helena, the child says that afternoon, pointing to herself. Bruno, he replies. I, Bruno. Bruto? Bruno. He points to the photograph of her mother. Mama, the child says. No, you, Elena. I, Bruno. She, Josephina. He scrawls a cartoon for Elena in her jotter. An elephant in ballet shoes with a fancy umbrella crossing a tightrope, but she makes no response. It's as though she can't see it. Then a cartwheeling clown, which makes her chuckle. He wishes she would laugh oftener. Her cold-eyed seriousness unnerves him.
Wow, I'm really drawn by the intensity of it, of the narration, of that voice, as well as what's unfolding there. It's really propelling, and I found myself leaning in as we listen to that short excerpt.
Yes, well, I think it's one of the because there's a lot of action of sort of frantic hiding and moving of the prisoners and things being having to be done before they're discovered by the Nazis. And this was a particularly good, quiet piece that I loved. I mean, this is the kind of passage from the Ghosts of Rome that I particularly liked.
All right, that is The Ghosts of Rome. It's Rome Escape Line, Book 2 by Joseph O'Connor. It's read by a multicast, and they are Stephen Hogan, Barnaby Edwards, Aoife Duffin, David John, Gertrude Thoma, and Lawrence Bovard. And this is definitely, and it does, as you say, it can be a standalone. You do not need to listen to My Father's House first to make sense of
Right.
this. Excellent. Okay. Thank you so much, Robin. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Great, Joe.
Support for Behind the Mic comes from Dreamscape, an award winning audiobook publisher with a catalog that includes authors LJ Shen, Frida McFadden, and Katie Robert. Discover your next great listen at dreamscapepublishing.com. If you like Behind the Mic, leave us a rating and don't forget to follow us on the platform of your choice. I'm Joe Reed. I'll talk to you tomorrow.